Okay, welcome to class. For this week, we have all these. I've picked all the questions we have from the Telegram group. The first question is mulching only done when the plants are tender and haven't grown big? So I use this diagram to attend to that question. When you want to mulch, the mulching, I'm sure in the classes you've come across uses of mulch. Mulching is to retain water. Mulching helps to keep the sun away. Mulching helps to hold the nutrients that are staying underneath the soil. So in this place, this is an onion farm that has been mulched. If you don't put it when they are still small, if you don't put the mulch when they are still small, when they've grown high, it's be difficult for you to put it there. So most times mulch are usually even put there when the plants are exactly very tender and still very small. Once they've grown, you might not need the mulch again because you are using the mulch to protect them from weed, to eliminate weed. So this is a natural mulch. I just use this one as sampling to show how the mulch are. So this one has been put there before. Even sometimes we transplant inside the mulch. If you are using the plastic mulch, this is how we lay the mulch. You lay it down and then we plant. You see the holes that we make here. This is where we're going to be planting anything, whether transplanting tomatoes, whether you are planting maize, anything you want to plant and you are using mulch. Your mulch must be prepared just as we are preparing the soil so that it's already there and the plant will grow inside it. I believe I'd answered that question. Now, question 1B. Madam, the way you talk about acre and hectares, we down here can't buy same vast land because it is very expensive. Maybe we should form a cooperative to buy in your area and jointly cultivate. Now, I understand some areas have expensive land, especially in the eastern part of Nigeria. Or not only the eastern part lands are scarce, and then close to Lagos, Ogun State, they have scarce land. For those of us that are in the interland, that are in the typical villages, when my area is a typical village, yes, there are lands, but there are major problems. There are some problems you need to consider before you form a cooperative. I formed a cooperative before, I know how it works. There are problems you need to form before you start a project together. One, I briefly make them here. One, financial capacity of everybody in the group. If you're starting a cooperative, from the experience I've had so far, you find out that everybody don't have the same financial capacity. For instance, you each want to buy one acre of land. Some people cannot even afford half acre of land. Why some people can buy 1,000 acres of land? In that case, when you put up a project and say, bring so money, some will be dragging, some will not move along with you. And in that case, the project is going to be delayed. I remember about 5 or 6 months ago, I tried to initiate a coconut plantation where I promised I will help people manage it. At the end of the day, it's only few people that turn up financially, which has been a setback, and I got discouraged. Now, I'm not blaming anyone for not being financially capable, but I'm just putting these out. These are one of the challenges. These are one of the reasons it's difficult to set up a joint work. Like what I do now with my coconut team is you buy your coconut and you plant on your own farm. You know you are the one responsible for it. You are the one responsible for your water, for your manure, for everything. But joint project means everybody has to contribute at the same time. They need to, and you see, agri projects are such that when you say bring money for weeding and you wait till maybe some people immediately you say bring money, you inform them, okay, we need money for weeding. If you put your money down, we quickly do the weeding. The plants will not be affected. But in that same group, there will be people that will stay 2 months, 1 month. They are still looking for their own money. In that case, how do you handle those kind of projects? You delayed everybody's project and the plants will be affected. So that is one thing, financial capacity, you need to consider it when you are doing a joint work. And that's why I keep away from those, because it's a really big problem. The other second one is crop interest. The second one is crop interest. Everybody don't have interest in the same type of crop. Some people might be interested in planting coconuts. Some people might be interested in planting palm. Some just want to plant tomatoes and vegetables. Some want to plant, it depends on what the group want. Individual interests are different. So when you are coming together to buy land or to jointly manage something, there's some things, I'm discussing things you need to factor together, things that needs to be on the same level before you can. Not just because, okay, land is cheap in that area, let's go and buy together. We contribute money, we buy the land, and at the end of the day, all the other things that are attributed to it will not be able to meet up. Now we've talked about financial capacity, crop interest. If you are coming, you're just coming, please just watch the earlier part of the video to catch up. Then number 3, access to land. I'm discussing challenges that comes when you are doing joint projects together. I pick out the questions from the Telegrams group, and that is what I'm taking one after the other. Access to land location. For instance, if in a group, in the class for this class, there are about 30 people in that class. Now, everyone are from different locations. For people that are close to Ogun State or that are close to Osun, Kwara, southwestern part, they feel the area is close to me. For people that are in the eastern part, the area is far to them. For someone that is coming from the north, the area is far. So how do you fix appointment to go and check your farm? How do you, how do you fix appointment to go and check your farm? So access to land location is one of the challenges, because to be candid, I always advise people that when you are going to have your farmland, please let it be close to where you can readily or easily go to. Yes, your farmland should be somewhere, okay, even if it's not close to you, it should be somewhere you can relax, to go there and relax. Not you leave in the morning, you travel 6 hours, you get to the location, you cannot even stay more than 20 minutes, you are running back again. That is not farm management. That's not, how will you know, okay, you can't even have the time to spare for the farmland or anything. So those are the challenges in joint farm effort. It needs to, anyone coming together need to have the same mindset or agree on a lot of things. The 4th one is management. In my years on the farm, I discover no matter how much you have, no matter whatever whatever money you are ready to spend on a farm, you have, let's say you have the finance, you have your billions, your millions, and you want to run a farm. But you know what? One of the major issues on the farm is running it, human resources and management. You see, farm is not like every other business where you go to the market, you buy your pepper, you go to the market, you buy a carton of biscuits for 10,000, and you come home, you check inside those carton of biscuits, you find out there are 24 there. So you divide your 10,000, you even had your transport money. So maybe at the end of the day, it's 12,000. So you divide your 12,000 with the carton of biscuits that you have. When you divide it, maybe it's now 2,000 naira per biscuit. Already you know what is coming in for you. You already know, okay, if I spend 10,000, I'm making 20,000. And if I put my cost of transport and everything, I'm still making 5,000. This is just an estimation. But farming, if I give you a cost and say, look, if you plant pepper, especially in Nigeria system, if you are outside Nigeria or some other places, it's far better. It's one of the best things. Let me explain it there. Because you find out that price of tomato are sold in kg. In other countries or other places where farmers are the best, where farmers are kings, you find out that their tomato are sold in kgs, these things are sold in kgs. So you know that if I'm going to put in this capacity, I'm going to put in this effort in my farm, and my harvest is going to be 1 ton, you already know how much you are going to sell that 1 ton. But it does not happen like that. Sorry, if I'm too fast, just put it in the chat box for me to slow down. I'm always very fast because I just want to share what I want. So please, if you think I'm too fast, just put it in the chat box so that I can slow down a bit. But I try, sometimes I'm fast because my network and so many other things can happen. So I just try to. So you find out that you cannot really predict. We do estimation in agriculture, in farm. For instance, now, like the coconuts, I've been encouraging people to plant. Normally, if I want to do the pure calculation, I will tell you your coconut will give you 400 fruit, 500 fruit. But I know it's not something you can really solidify like that. That's why I tell you, okay, you get minimum of 100 fruit. So what it means is that Please, I hope you are still with me. Please, let me see in the chat box if you are still with me. I hope I'm not talking to myself. Please, let me see in the chat box. Sorry, please. I know I'm seeing 4 of us are here together as a participant, but I'm not sure if you are still with me. Please, let me know if you are still with me. If we are still here, just drop it in the chat box that you are still here. Hello? Okay, I'm seeing a chat. Okay. Thank you. So that let's not be, I'm just, okay, so fine. So now that's part of management. And now you see where I move into the market. So you cannot predict farming. And that's why it's advisable. Okay, so we are here. Okay, sir. So it's good that you can visit the farm. It's good that you can visit the farm on how do I say without even informing. Okay, you can just, it's your farm. So if it's somewhere that is extremely very far, you didn't go there in 1 year, you didn't go there in 2 years, and you are hoping, they are not bringing anything for me. How are they managing it? Which I'm just explaining to you that management is one of the tough stuff in farming. Farm workers, you have challenges. Farm this, you have challenges. So these are things, if you are working together as a group or going to work together as a group, you need to really, really consider it. Honestly, it's something that should be sat down. People should sit down and discuss and put it in writing and analyze before you come to it. Now, the perseverance, sorry, I'm not sure if my spelling is correct, but perseverance, I mean, is this. When you start your farm, the first, there's something I tell people that most of us here, we are gambling with farming. Farming is great, but like where we start our number one gambling is markets. The fact that farmers cannot fix price, unlike other places where every season tomato is 10,000 per kg or it's 5,000 per kg, or every season your maize is 100 naira per kg. You cannot fix that in Nigeria. We don't fix that in most African countries. So price fluctuates. As of 2 months ago, the price of a bag of maize in my community was 50,000 naira, over 50,000 naira. But now, presently, as I'm speaking with you, it's about 25, 28 or 30 something thousand naira. Why? Because this is harvesting period. Whenever it's harvesting period, plenty farmers have produce, as in plenty farmers are harvesting, so the price drops down. So it's only if you are financially capable enough and said, okay, I'm not going to sell it now, I'm going to keep it till when the price will go up again. But that time you want to keep. I remember there was a specific year some farmers kept their maize and hoping the price will go up. Unfortunately, the price did not go up, it comes down. So despite that they kept it for 4, 5, 6 months, they still sold at a less price. So these are things that cannot really, so it's possible that you start a joint group work, and when you start the joint group work, you find out that 1 year you are running at a loss, another year you are making huge profits. If you are lucky to make huge profit in your first year, everyone will be happy. What of the second year and there's a loss? Voila, will start. These are things that if you have joined some of my classes, I'm going to just open it up plainly to you. Land alone is not land. Management is very important. Yes, there are affordable land in the southwest compared to in the eastern part of Nigeria. Now, the sixth one, expectations. Our expectations are different. On my timeline, I'm always writing things on my timeline, most of the time sharing something. Some people, there was a time somebody called me. He wants to invest in coconut, and he has this, when I started explaining to him, because he has this belief that once you just buy the seedling, plant the coconut, nothing again, we just be looking after it. And I told him, no, you need to consider manure. You need to, and now his expectation is that after 3 years, the coconut will start producing plenty for him. So I have to tell him, no, you need to put in some things for the coconut to produce very well for you. As I'm speaking with you right now, today I was on my farm. I was fixing my irrigation, as in I was fixing irrigation to my 3 crops, because already rain has stopped. And if I didn't put irrigation, we are not going to be having rain again until next year, February or March. We're not going to have until, let me say, March, April. There will be rain in February, but maybe once in a month. So until around April before I will stop irrigation. So expectations, people need to understand the expectations before a group can work together. So I just answered that question, where that question came up. Please, if you miss it, you can check the video. Now, question 2. You talk about planting legumes crops separate from tubers, etc. for crop rotation. Is it that you can't plant legumes together with, like, say, tuber crops? See, excuse me, tuber crops are, if you're talking of tuber crops that I know, is yam. Yam is a crawling, the leaves. If you plant yam, you need to put stick under and stake it so that it will not, so that it will stake, it will go up. If you leave the yam to crawl, it means these other heaps of yam will entangle itself with another heap of yam and with another heap of yam, and they will destroy themselves. Everything will get destroyed. So if you are putting stake to raise your yam again, so which space, you will not have space to plant legumes again, because the heaps of yam that you are planting, which is a tuber, the heaps that you're already planting, especially if you plant potato are already crawling. So if you put any other crops inside them, they will choke it up. That's just it for that. They will choke it up. So actually, the best method of planting is, like, I don't know, in one of the classes you've come across, where you need to divide your farm into 4 spaces. Plot A, plot B, plot C, A, plot C, plot D. Then you rotate. If you use plot 1 today for this crop, there is a method of crop rotation you need to follow. If you use plot 1, you use plot 2 to plant another thing, plot 3 another, plot 4. The next season, when you are planting again, you rotate them. You, as in, the one in plot 1, you change it to plot 2. The one in plot 2, you change it to plot 3. The one in plot 3, you change it to plot 4. That way, you will not overextend your, you will not indulge your soil too much, and you will see you get your nutrients will be rotating, and your crops will be doing fine. So I answered that question. Now, question 2B. Please, how much is the average cost for a planter? Manually planting is scary. Yes. So now, the first question, this is the tractor attached planter. This is a planter. This type of planter is attached to tractor. Like, you know, when you have a tractor, we call them tractor coupled implements. So this is one of the tractor coupled implements that we attach to a tractor. So this is one planter. So it is when you have a tractor that you buy this. I don't know the cost for this. Honestly, I don't. Now, this is the hand push planter. This is hand push planter. This is China made. This is hand push planter, and this is China product, China made. We used to buy this, but it's made of plastic. As of the last time I bought it, it was about 80,000. It's made of plastic, which makes it not durable. It gets spoiled on time, as in you can't even use it. If you manage it to complete an acre before it starts getting pieces, you'll be lucky. So I can hardly do 1 hectare. This is plastic. It's fully plastic, made in China, and it was a big whatever. So this is the third one. For this one, this is Nigerian made fabricated. This is far better for maize planting. It will give you some little challenges, but it's far better than the plastic one. So this one, as of last year, this one was going for 60,000 or so, or thereabout. Okay, when I say last year, I mean early this year planting. You know, by the time we move to next year, we'll move to another planting season. I have a guy in Shaki that was fabricating this for me at one time. See, his own fabrication will not be as neat as this, I'm sorry to say it, but it is quite effective. So I don't know the current price now, but as of the last time I used it, I think I still even have the old ones at home. So these are the planter for maize. You can use it to plant beans. You can use it to plant soya beans too. I used to plant my beans last year, and we use it to plant maize too. Okay. Now the question again. Do you think raised bedding is much better than the common plowing or tilling practice? Yeah, let me explain. Yes, and then I will explain. Now, when you talk of the normal farm practice that farmers do, normal farm practice that we do is we get a tractor. Most of the tractors that are available in Nigeria only have the plow attached to them at the back. So that plow means they will just turn over the soil, kind of. Not that they will mix it together. They will turn over the soil to some extent. And so that plowing, that's how farmers will now just plant maize inside it. It means inside that when they plow, some place I don't know, plowing is just like, it's the machine at the back of the plower will just heap the soil and turn it over. It will not loosen it, it will not anything. So you find out that in plow land, some hard soil are still there, which means when you plant in those hard soil, they will not still do very well. Your crop will not still do very well. That's why when you plant your maize or your any other crop, you find out that some area the soil will do, the plant will grow very well. Some area they will not even grow at all. Some area they will grow averagely because the soil are not properly losing. The soil are not properly taken care of. Plowing does not, it's not the, normally if you want to do that, you need to plow, you need to harrow, and then you need to make ridges. There's a plow, there's an arrow, and there's a ridges if you are using those systems to work. But likewise, to increase the number of plants that you will plant, when you plow, then you can harrow, and then you will now do raised bed instead of ridge. There's a raised bed, there's a machine. There are attachments for tractors that are called raised bed. So they will produce the raised bed for you. So with available, I think I showed the picture here. With available mechanization here, tractor raised bedding can only be done manually. And getting people to do it will be difficult, time and energy consuming, and at times the wages for labor could be much. What's the lasting solution? Like I said, there are machines that do raised bed. Look at it there. These are machines. See, you see the way it's making the beds. These are raised bed making machines. That's why I went to bring a picture. These are raised bed making machines. Look at another one here. See, they are raised bed. It's just that, unfortunately, I'm not sure we have them in Nigeria as of today. I'm not sure. The last time I saw one of them was when some Indians were planting tomatoes in one part of Ogun State. That was when I saw one of these attachments. It's an attachment that is attached to a tractor. See another one here. See, these are raised bed makers. You can see them. It's just an attachment. This is the tractor. This is just an attachment. Look at them. They are attachments that are attached to the tractor. See, they are attachments. So you only need the attachment, then you attach it to a tractor. But the only thing we mainly have in the farm section in Nigeria is harrow and plow. It's only the plow we have. But plow is not, you can see even these other guys, every one of them are using raised bed. Raised bed increase your plant population. So you can use their machine for raised bed. But like I said, it's not that common. It's not even available actually. Now, so these are the machines for raised bed. Now, you can see another one here. These are another attachments. They are machine fabricated something for raised bed. This can build raised bed. Now, question 4. For the pest infections, mostly organic pesticides don't really have long-lasting activity, shelf life, and usually cost, except it's made by itself. How frequent do we apply it? Honestly, like we said, organic don't have long-lasting activity. It means you need to apply them at least twice in a month. Actually, there are people that produce organic and sell, but unfortunately, because you cannot really say, you don't know what they mix together, people you don't know what the content of what they are producing. They are, for people that are not in Nigeria, they are imported organic products. But in Nigeria, I'm not sure we have people that are producing it. So that's why you need to apply twice a month to be on the safe side. And then there's something called integrated pest management. In integrated pest management, starting from your soil, you make sure your soil is rich. From your soil, from everything you use, you incorporate real or natural system so that it will reduce. Like for instance, now there are some pests that feed on some other pests. So when you have access to them like that, and then you inculcate crop rotation, it's called integrated pest management for organic products. Yes, why most of us don't do organic products in Nigeria is that the price of organic is the same price. You won't go to most of the markets, they buy organic at the same price they buy synthetic. Most Nigerians don't really value organic food or naturally grown food. Nigerians are looking for cheap food, affordable one. So that's why most times, though for your farm, for your soil rejuvenations, for your soil to last longer, naturally grown are better for you. You produce more when your soil are very good. But when you start using synthetic, they destroy your soil. They keep away bees from your farm. They do a lot of destruction to your farm. Now, question 4B. Again, most of the videos in classrooms seems to be streamed. How do we rewatch them without exploring our data every time we have to watch? You don't have any option there. Most online courses are on it's called online courses. So you have to, when you need them, you go through them and you go through them online. I attended a lot of courses. I have a lot of courses in my that I attend to. This is the only thing you do. When you need them, what I do is when I'm going to attend those courses, I go with my notebook. I pick up my notebook and my pen so that I'll pick the points I want to use, so that when next time coming, those other points I've picked up, I will not need them again. So that's what I do when I'm using my online courses. When I attend online courses and I want to go over them again, I go with my pen, and so that I'll pick points. I stay there and pick my points, not just watching for fun. You pick my point, write them out. Okay, this is what they say when they are doing this. This is what they say when they are doing this. You cannot skip data. No, I don't think there's any shortcut to that. Question 5. After plowing with tractor, is raised bed done manually, or there's a way tractor can do raised bed to accommodate? I don't know why this thing is showing on my timeline. Low system resource may affect your audio quality. Try closing some applications. Okay, I'll do that. So is a way tractor can, sorry, please, let me just close. Okay. It's still like that. Okay, sorry, please. So after applying, I think I've answered this question now from the way I explained that there are machineries that you can attach to your tractor. There are machineries that you can attach to your tractor for you to do raised bed. Now, Ma, you said with question 6, you said with good farm practice, you can get 30 tons cassava. Actually, with good, not under probability, with good farm practice, you can get, excuse me, 30 to 90 tons of cassava per hectare. 30 to 90 of cassava per hectare. Now, you said that's 3 months on land preparation and 9 months of cassava. No, there's no 3 months land preparation. Land preparation is you clear the land. If you can afford to put manure, which is the best. Actually, let me give you one instance. This year, I've been planting, for years, I've been planting vegetables. And every year, I usually go for cattle dung and cattle dung and poultry waste and put it on my soil. I do that every year. So last year, I did not plant plenty vegetables. I cut down on my vegetables. And so in order not to waste that land, I have to plant, people encourage me to plant cassava. Let me just even plant some cassava there so that I will not waste the land. Now I planted cassava. Fortunately, my cassava did very well, as in when others were, during the dry season, when others were losing their leaves and everything, my cassava was still doing very well. My cassava performed very well. But unfortunately, that was fortunately, unfortunately, because my soil has plenty manure, you know, something, a soil that have been so manured, my cassava, when others were, they would tell me, because I don't plant cassava before, so I always ask them, is it okay for me to have it? They say no, the cassava will stay 1.5 years. But unfortunately, my own cassava, by once it is 1 year, once it is 1 year, it starts getting, once it's more than 1 year, it starts getting bad. As in, they just note that the leaves started changing color. So they told me, I called the person checking for me, oh yeah, what happened to this cassava? They went to check it. Later, when they were harvesting, they discovered plenty of it had gone bad. And they told me it's because of the manure I've put. So it means my home cassava on those land that I've put plenty manure, my cassava should not stay more than a year compared to those ones that did not add manure. And even that, despite that, most of them were bad when they were harvesting, the cassava still performed very well. Everyone in my community testified that the cassava, you know, me, I've not been planting cassava before, that the cassava, the yield, as in the yield did very well. And it was because of the manure I've been putting. But actually, I think now I learned that if I'm planting cassava on those, my type of land that are filled with manure, you know, I was doing vegetables before, on those my type of land, I should not allow it, it should not stay more than 1 year. They were using their own system to plant for me, but unfortunately, my land was really rich in nutrients. I just share this with you. Now, so soil preparation for cassava is not 3 months, not at all. Soil preparation is within, all you need to do is to make sure the soil is losing. If there's manure there, the soil is losing. And then if you stay near more, 30 tons per hectare. If I tell you, if you plant cassava, most farmers currently don't even harvest 30 tons per hectare. Most farmers presently don't get 30 tons per hectare, to let you know. So cassava, then it said approximately 1,500,000 in a year. Does that worth the stress, considering your time, resources, and wage? Personally, if you ask me, cassava is not something you should plant and be saying you want to make money. Cassava planting is gambling. It's one of the gambliest, one of the crops you gamble most for. My first experience with cassava was in 2013. I planted 50 acres. And I ran around all the companies that before I planted, I contacted all those companies that I want to plant cassava, I will supply them. And they said, no problem, they will buy. So at the end of the day, when the cassava was matured and I went back, they said they already have people supplying them. What it means that cassava fluctuates in such a way that I keep telling, how are farmers making profits? Like I told you, the one I planted last year was because I don't want to waste the land. You know, I'm moving from vegetables to tree crops, and I'm not planting plenty tree crops at a time. I'm building it gradually. So that was why I have extra, and you know, my vegetables, I have extra land. So now that was why presently, if you come to my farm, you will see cassava. But my own cassava is not because I'm expecting any yield or any gain from it. After, it's because I just use it to hold my land pending, because even right now as I'm speaking with you, if you check, Facebook blocked me on my timeline, so I've not been able to post. I'm using my second account. So you find, like today I was on the farm and you find out now I planted cassava. I planted my tree crops with cassava. How do I put it? I combined my cassava with my coconut. So what I did was I clear space for my coconut inside the cassava. So the two are growing together. And you know, cassava will definitely grow faster than the coconut. So when I harvest the cassava, it will now remain only the coconut on my land. That's what I do with those land now. So my land now, I'm planting cassava, I'm planting cassava and coconut together. As in cassava, I'm using the cassava to build my coconut, because the coconut gap is 7 meter distance. All the other places will be wasting if I don't put anything there. And since I'm not doing veggie, so I put cassava there. I think if you check on Yinka Deshola, that's my second page, you will see some of the videos I shared today where the cassavas are in between, the coconuts are in between the cassava. So like I said, cassava is not something, if you have money and you say, oh, I really want to go to farm, I want to plant cassava. Some will plant 100 acres of cassava, 50 acres of cassava. It's per luck. Sometimes, like in my place now, sometimes a ton of cassava will go for 30,000. Sometimes it will go for 10,000. Sometimes it will go for 50,000. Sometimes it will go for 60,000. So cassava price fluctuates. Like what I said in the beginning when I said planting farm together, prices are not fixed, prices are not stable, and it's good when you manage your own farm, or if you know, oh, you are not desperately in hurry, or if you are planting 3 crops that you know, okay, let me give you an instance now. I planted plenty for this season. I planted almost 400 coconuts. Presently, as I'm speaking with you, some of them have died. Some of them a lot of them survived, some have died. I'm putting irrigation now, but I have the intention that after I put irrigation, those empty spaces that have died, I'm going to replace them. Imagine if it's a group farm that I've told the group member I've planted coconut for them. Now that the spaces are scattered, like some parts where the coconut have died, will I go back and report to the group and say, bring money, I want to replace? They will look at it, why are you asking me for money again when they're already expecting returns? So these are the challenges people don't really understand. Like But meanwhile, I'm not going to share this generally with people that my coconut die. Oh, it's until when my coconut flourished and I start harvesting, I will start telling them, hey, my 400 coconut. But they will not know I replaced the 400. It's not actually 400 that survived to that stage. I planted 400, but definitely I'm going to replace about 50 or 20 there or even more. So, I'm just using this as an example. Like once I finish fixing my irrigation now, all those empty spaces, those ones that died, I need to fix them back. But if it's a group work, it means somebody have to report to collect money more, to buy more. Well, then somebody will ask you, why now? Maybe you told us we buy coconut. Why did they die? You cannot, those are things you need to, people don't know about the farm, okay? I hope we are still together. I hope we're still together. Now, there's a picture on the group that says, what species of palm tree is this seedling? Can we get different hybrid of palm seedlings from you? Now, let me explain. They are different. The one you show in the picture, unless I see it, I cannot use the picture to say this is the type of seedlings. But let me tell you something about palm. There are different types of palm. There are the hybrid one, there's the tenera, there's the, somebody wrote something in the chat box. If we must watch and it's online, but we are students that pay for the course, I'm thinking it would be appropriate Farm Villa issue us with certificate of 30 days online agribusiness. See, the issue of certificate, honestly, let me put this that there's somebody that asked me from the question, there's somebody that asked me at the beginning of the training that we dare do certificate, and I said no. The reason I said no is this. I'm sorry to use it. If you want certificate can be provided, but I don't give certificate. Even I myself that I'm here teaching or sharing this with you, I don't have a certificate in agriculture. So how do you understand? I particularly I did geology, geophysics, and everything. Everything I learned on the farm, I practically learned. I don't have a certificate. So I'm not eligible to give you a certificate and say, okay, you graduate from what? This is just a practical. Yes, I know people give certificate and tell them you have certificate because you attend this class. You are not going to use it to get a job anywhere. But what is most important is that you get and understand the practical aspect of the course so that when you are applying it to your own farm, you get good yield and you get good results. That's my mentality with. So far, people that have been asking me, I'll just tell them, no. I know some people that did not join the training because there's no certificates. I told them I don't give certificate, but I believe what is being offered, classes, the things you learn here, you should be able to use it to start your own farm, because this is practical. Most of my classes, you see me, I'll point out, okay, this is the challenges, this is how you can find solution to it. This is what I've gone through on the farm. So I shared a lot of practical experiences, and I do the practical. I'm on the farm. So I don't know. I've not been given certificate. Certificate is not something difficult, but I just felt I don't have the conscience that, okay, what certificate am I giving when I don't even have a certificate in agriculture or in all this? No, I don't. Okay, please. So what species? Like I said, there are different types of palm. There are different types of palm tree. Now there are different types of palm tree. There are the palm, like the super gene. Like the super gene, it's matured faster. But believe me, you need to give it plenty water. You see, the mistakes most people make is that they believe if they say there's a seedling that will produce in 3 years, then you just buy the seedling and you plant it and you don't take proper care of it. For those people that buy seedling from me, that's why I created our WhatsApp group so that you can easily learn. We can learn from each other. You can ask questions. There are people that already have plenty coconuts there so that you can really learn and ask questions and be able to grow yours. If you plant anything, even if you have the best of the seedlings, if you don't take good care of it, you are not going to get anything. If you buy the most expensive seedlings and you put it in the soil, no water, no pest control, no soil management, no manure, you are not going to get results. So there are different types of seedling. There's a super gene, there's tenera. like on my farm, I planted palm trees too. I plant about 50 palm trees, but I plant tenera. Though I'm hoping to, my kind of farm is such that I have everything in quantity, so that except coconut that I have in bulk, I have everything. I have lemon on my farm. I have lemon. I have soursop on my farm. I have, I have sweet oranges on my farm. But I plant these things so that I can learn from them and use it to share my experience with others too. So that's why I plant all those ones. So like seedling, like palm, I have palm on my farm too, but it's just that I have palm on my farm. I planted palm seedlings. So if you plant anything, there are different types of seedling. If you want, I only have tenera seedlings. I don't have the super gene. The super gene that is quite expensive and it's not really common. But though I learn people say they have it, but I don't trust it, except I'm the one that started from what did I say? From the sprout myself. I'm the one that sprouted it myself. So that's why but presently I only have tenera. I still intend to have super gene with time on my farm. Like I told you, I plant a lot of seedlings, a lot of tree crops. I have soursop, I have other crops. I'm planting a lot of tree crops because I experiment with them and I work with them. I think the next question is possibly coming to the last question. Can't the spoiled onions be used as manure? Honestly, onions are good when you mix them with some other thing. Onions are good when you mix them with, onions are good when you mix them with some other, when you mix them with maybe neem oil or ginger for pesticide. For manure, I don't think you need spoiled onion for your manure. If you plant onion, the intention of planting the onion is for you to be able to use the onion, so you to be able to harvest the onion and sell. So I don't think it's a good idea to use purely onion for manure. Poultry waste, livestock waste, that's where we have the nitrogen, potassium, and the full constituent of it. Now, the other question that I pick, whenever you mention maize yield per hectare, are you referring to maize in its cob or after process? I'm talking of after process. After process. You mentioned that given the planting spacing, intercropping is not a good practice on a raised bed, but I feel cover crops, leguminous crops that could complement cereal crops in reducing weed. Honestly, you see, raised bed, if you are planting on a raised bed, you're already planting at 30 centimeter or even 25. The tapes, see, I'm using drip tapes on my farm. And because I'm using that drip tapes, I usually buy the one of 30 centimeter difference. So because I'm already using 30 centimeter difference, which is already choked up. So the nutrients, when I feed it nutrients, you want to get maximum yield. By adding another crop again, you'll be splitting the nutrient that you are sharing for the specific crop you plant. And then another thing again, is good when you plant only one crop. You quickly be able to tackle the disease or pest that is coming to that one crop, rather than combining two crops. When you combine two crops, you won't know whether it is this one that affects this or this one that affects that. But if it's one, I know, okay, if I plant my pepper, I know if anything happens, I'll be looking at pepper, what can affect pepper, what kind of disease does pepper have, rather than I combine pepper and leguminous or other crops. Meanwhile, the nutrients you need on the crop, that's why in crop rotation, it is better like legumes now, for you to get best of legumes, it is when it is flowering, you plow it with the soil. You're not even supposed to allow it to fruit. So what's the essence of combining it? You understand? For me, when you now use raised bed, your weeding reduce, because the space, they will grow up and cover the space between them. The 30 centimeter you leave between, we easily, apart from the first or second weeding, you're not going to have much problem with weeding in raised bed, because they are closely planted. So the shade, their spread of hand will cover up the soil. I hope I explained that. Now, let me see. Question 8B. Going by the classes so far, can it be deduced that post-harvest byproducts like rice husk, maize stalk, maize cob, sawdust, wood shaving, etc. can be used as mulching material? Yes, definitely, they can be used as mulching material. I think that's where the question stops. Then there's a question in the chat box that I will attend to now. It says, so what we prove that I've experienced as farm manager after being trained in your farm, referral from you is not enough. Honestly, the thing is, if you think, the proof that you've been a farm, number one, the proof that you've been a farm, you've gone through this class means you should be able to add more, you should be able to get better yield from your own farm. When you start your farm, your yield should increase, should improve. That is number one. Number two, yes, I give referral to people that perform well. But see, I won't give referral for online classes. I only give referral for practical classes. If you want to come for practical classes on my farm, you have to stay 3 months. But like for this, I told everyone that attended 1 month online classes, they still have to, if you want me to refer you, you have to come to the farm and spend 2 months practical classes on the farm. See, online is an introduction. I'm sure you've been going through a lot of whatever, but you've never practiced it. So there's no way I will refer you for online to go and work on somebody's farm. It's when you come to the farm, I will give you work to do, practical classes. Like my training used to be 3 months, practical classes on the farm with accommodation. Yes, I do that. I've been doing that since 2015, and I've trained a lot of guys. Some of them are working as farm workers, farm managers for people. So, but online classes, you are watching, you are reading it, but now it's time to practice. If you want to come for the practical, you'll be welcome on the farm. If you come to the practical, that's when I can refer you. Even the online classes, I'm not sure there's any farm owners that will employ you with ordinary online. You need to practice. You need to practice what you've learned. You've learned how to plant maize, how to plant cucumber, how to plant all these things, pest and disease, how to make the insecticide. You need now to practice it before you can handle somebody's farm. And if it is your own personal farm, I'm sure now you can know what to tell your farm manager, your farm workers, and say, okay, no, this is what I want you to do. No, this is not what I want you to do. Be able to share. That's the essence of this class. Be able to tell your farm, because if you have a farm and you don't have all these ideas, you don't have all these things there, you just get people, they will be the one to tell you what to do, and they will be messing up your farm. You just be spending money. There's another question here. Somebody said, you have different cash crops in your farm. You just made me remember green, those days in Idianyure. Anyway, when you get yourself, it's your own money. Thank you for this exposure. You are welcome, sir. So, like I said, so you need even as a farm owner, now you have idea. Okay, this is what I need to tell them to do for me on my farm. This is how because let me give you an instance. There was a day a guy was in our practical training here. He told me he has been farming for somebody. I said, fine. So I assume because he has been farming he's already a farm manager on a farm, and he came. So I just gave him a portion. I said, look, help me weed this place. Do you know when he got there? He started with, when he got there, he weed out all my peppers, the peppers that were on the farm. He removed everything. And I didn't even take note that day. It was the next day I came and said, oh, who removed this pepper? He was the one. Why? He said he didn't know they were peppers. And this is somebody that is managing someone's farm already. So you can imagine what is managed. And vegetables, because he told me they are doing vegetables already, they are planting pepper, but he could not identify pepper plants. So like I said, it's because most people that attend this class are, okay, I'm a farm owner, I cannot be on the farm myself, but I need somebody, I need to have an idea, so that even if you are getting somebody, because most of the people you will get to be farm managers on your farm might not even have done the practical work before. Maybe you are just sending them, go and buy this for me, supervise the boys, go and do this for me. So with this class now, if you are planting pepper, you need to give it water. You need to prepare your soil and give it manure. I want raised bed, or I want ifs. This is the essence of this class, so that you understand what the farm entails, what it entails. Okay, I'm still answering it. Somebody said, I'm enlightened even beyond my expectations. You are welcome. You are welcome, sir. Okay, so class, you understand what I'm trying. So that's the essence for this class, so that there is lot, and we still have a lot. We still have about some days, so you still see a lot of classes you come across, things that I don't know these things happen. So let me give. Do we have other questions from the class? We are recording the class, so I'll post it in the Telegram group. Do we have any other questions that you want to ask? on all the crops. I'm sure if you follow the classes, you've been going through a lot of classes, seeing different method of doing different crops, or seeing things you don't even expect. Oh, this happens on the farm. So if you have questions from any of them, we still have a lot in front of us to go, so that there's still a lot you come across before the end of the 30 days. I'm sure your orientation of farming, farms, and everything, you are catching up a lot. So please, if there's any other question you have, let's undo it before we go off this evening. And then we'll be meeting next week, Saturday again. The classes still continue. You're having plenty classes. Please, do we have any question? Can you please help us with today's discussion video? Definitely, yes. After this class, I'm posting it. We're already recording it. So once the class ends, I'll convert it and put it in the Telegram group. Once the class ends, so you can, if you miss the early part, you can check the early part. And then I think there's somebody that is not in Nigeria that said our time is midnight for him. So we check it too. So if there's no question, we can call it a day for today. So please, if you have your question, just drop it in the Telegram group. I'll pick everything and then we come in and discuss it. And then the advantage with this place is that you can ask me questions directly. Okay, you said we should not use borehole water. Okay, no, you can use borehole water, but it is expensive. Let me give you some brief little calculation of borehole water, sir. Now, on my farm, when I was doing, if I want to do dry season, as of early this year, I did dry season pepper. I did pepper. On every day on my farm, I use borehole on my farm. Every day on my farm, you should not, okay, don't misunderstand me somehow. Don't use borehole farm for vegetables. You can use it for tree crops. Vegetables consume more water. Tree crops doesn't consume plenty water as vegetables. So now when I was using borehole for vegetables, every day I was buying petrol 5,000. That was when they were selling petrol 220, 200 in my place. You understand? Every day I buy 5,000 petrol. That is outside me. There's no electricity on the farm. So I have a generator. I run generator from morning to night. I do maintenance for the generator. Sometimes the submersible pump will pack up. I'll replace it. I do a lot of things. The pipes, lifting the waters and everything. Now you find out that the quantity, that my 5,000 petrol every day gets me about 25,000 liter water per day, because I have 5,000 tank. I didn't raise my own tank. I just put it because I've lost 2 tanks to, when I raise tanks, 2 of them are falling down. So since then, I don't raise it. I use slope. I use kind of slope to fix my tank. So now those 5,000 tanks, I pump 5 of them every day with 5,000 naira. Now with 5,000 petrol, that's outside engine oil, services, other things, everything. Now I went to a friend's farm. The guy is using a well. They have surface water, large volume of water, a very big, like a dam close to them. The same tank that I use, the same 25,000 water that I'm pumping with 5,000 every day, the guy will use 1,000 naira because he's using surface pump. There's a pump we call it mud pump. Those pumps that you use to lift water from one location to another, that you can use 2 inches mouth and everything. I call it mud pump anyway. So that pump is what that guy is using. If you put 2 liter petrol in that pump, it will pump if you put 3 liter petrol or 4 liter, that pump will fill all my 25,000 water. That me, I'm spending 5,000. So you can see the difference from 1,000 to 5,000. And we are going to sell in the same markets. And his own doesn't need generator again. It doesn't need submersible pump again in the borehole. So it's cheaper when you are close to a surface of water, a large volume of water. You spend less on irrigation when you are close to a large volume of water. But when you are using borehole, you spend. But if you already have your borehole, provided you don't mind, like me now, if I'd known, I would have preferred to look for where there's large volume of water instead of sinking borehole then. But I already have the borehole. It's actually the borehole now I'm using for my coconuts, because coconut will not consume more water as my vegetables. So now I'm using the borehole, but for vegetables, no, it's not good. For borehole is expensive. Will you be treating? No, there's no watermelon and castor seed in this class. Actually gave the class the content, the full content is what it's posted somewhere. There's no watermelon and castor seed in this class. But okay, no, I don't want to promise. I don't want to promise. It's not in this class, not in this course, but if I have the time, I can squeeze them in. I can squeeze them in, but they are not in this course, but I can squeeze them in. Okay, so, but so which other question? Do you have another question? Do you have question again? So I've answered the borehole stuff. It's expensive, quite expensive compared to when you are used to dam. Now let me use another example again. The northern farmers, when a northern farmer plants tomatoes, if they are spending if they are spending 200,000 for an acre, a southwestern farmer that is using borehole will be spending 1 million. Because why? They are using the surface water that is cheaper to pump water, and we were using borehole, and we are going to sell at the same market. And that's why when they bring large volume to the market, if you are bringing yours, no matter what price you are selling, you are running at a loss. So borehole is not, if you are looking for land, you are just newly looking for land and you are joining this class, please look for where there's water if you want to plant in dry season. But if you don't intend to plant in dry season, then okay, fine, you can just look for anywhere. But if you are considering planting vegetables, please look for where there's dam, or where you can see surface water, or you can create rain harvest. But if you are planting tree crops like all these lemon, lime, so if you are planting tree, they don't demand much water as vegetables in dry season. So trees can survive. You can use borehole for tree crops, but not for, they'll still be expensive, it's still the same, but at least you are not going to spend more like when you are doing vegetables. Okay, please, do we have question? If there's any question, okay, I'm seeing another one. Okay, thank you, my excellent class. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome, sir. So if there's no class, we can call it a day. And please, if you have questions, just drop it in the Telegram group. I'll pick them up and bring them to the class. Every question, don't just drop all the questions, then we can come here. Why we do that is it's easy for everybody to learn without much stress. You can go through the class at your own convenience, you can check it at your own convenience, and you still learn from it, rather than okay, you must be here by 8 o'clock every day. Okay, so if there's no question, we'll be calling it off. Okay, I saw a chat before I leave. Okay. Oh, you are welcome, sir. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome, sir. Okay.